Say it is. Go ahead and
Okay.
unmute me, Tim. And we need
Reagan,
to
is IT ready?
start the recording.
As far as I know, they are. I just sent them a note.
This meeting is being recorded.
There's the answer.
Yes, sir. You are ready to go.
Okay, thank you. Okay, good morning, everyone. Let's call court to order. Today is Tuesday, November the 3rd, 2020. It's 9 a.m. Proof of posting, please.
The agenda was posted on Friday, October 30th, 2020 at 9:55 a.m.
Thank you. This time, let's pause briefly for a moment of silence, and then we'll have a pledge to the flags. Please join me in a pledge to the flags. I pledge allegiance. Reagan, I don't believe we have anybody calling in. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. What we're going to do this morning, because I'm not sure about this connection out here and the glare, I'm going to ask Dustin to go through the agenda items, and then I'll call for response and action. So, Dustin, if you.
All right. Good morning. All right. We will start on N1, discussion and/or action on matters regarding COVID-19. Elizabeth, if you're on the line, do you mind giving us an update, please?
Of course. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
All right. As of yesterday, for our surge testing, we have completed a total of 12,292 tests. We are still moving very well with our surge testing. Yesterday, we started a whole bunch of new sites at Sacred Heart Catholic Church, Antioch Church. Our Heritage Square site is still continuing to run. And then yesterday, we officially debuted our mobile aardvark testing unit that we are starting to use that will be moving from different sites across Waco and McLennan County as we move forward. So we're looking forward to continuing to schedule that and reach out to more of our other communities that we haven't been able to get into so far.
Okay, good. And then the type of test we're converting over to the saliva test. Is that
Yes,
true?
sir. All of our current testing sites and future testing sites will be the saliva-based test. So it's pretty much the spit in a cup. It's a lot easier, less invasive, no more sticking anything up anyone's nose. So we're looking forward to that.
And I did that test on Friday and got my results in about around 36 hours or less. And so, which I'm negative. So it's easy to do, recommend it, but I knew that several of us were going to be gathering, so we all got tests and to just get that comfort level. All right, thank you, Elizabeth.
Of course.
Go ahead, Dustin.
All right. I see Amy's on the line. Amy, is Judge Vic on the line?
I do not see him, Dustin, but I'll be glad to present for him.
Okay. All right. Well, we will move to L3. This is regarding the Bureau of Justice Assistance, Adult Drug Court, and Veterans Treatment Court Discretionary Grant Program Acceptance of Grant Award. Amy?
I'm trying to get my video started. There you go. Okay. So good morning, everybody. There's Judge
Morning.
Vic. Hold on. Get him on speaker. Hey, Judge, I've got you on speaker. I'm on with Commissioner's Court.
Oh, okay.
It's our turn if you'd like to talk.
I just I didn't realize I was going to be talking about. I'm sure. Other than obviously, I'm pleased and thrilled with the grant that was offered to us, and I want to thank all the work that you and Dr. Dolan and Jamie Schmidt put into it. Quite honestly, you guys did the legwork. I got the credit, it seems like, but you guys did a great job, and that's why we have a successful team.
All right. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Okay. So McLennan County, we were awarded a 3-year, $270,264 grant from the Office of Justice Program Grant to enhance our DWI drug court grant. And so we're very excited for that. So what that will do, we will hopefully serve about 90 participants over 3 years. We will be able to hire a case manager and a peer provider with that funding, as well as enhance our evaluation process through that. So we're very excited.
Okay, anyone have any questions for Amy? Okay, so Dustin, what action do we need to take on that?
Judge, it would be motion to accept that grant award.
Okay. All right. If there's not any questions, is there a motion to accept the grant award?
So moved.
Motion to approve. Second.
All right. Have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell. Commissioner Snell.
Sorry, go, say it again.
Commissioner Snell.
Can Mercedes use a microphone?
Hello?
Commissioner Snell.
Mercedes, can you call for a vote?
No, her mic is on. It's unmuted.
I'm assuming we're recording.
Commissioner Snell.
So, Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton is aye. Will Jones,
Aye.
Ben Perry,
Aye.
pass. Okay, Dustin.
All right, we'll go back to the start of the agenda. Under D, proclamations and resolutions, we have nothing for court this week. Under E, under the consent agenda, we do have some suggested pull items. Those are E3A, E3B, E3C 1 and 2, and E6A. Are there any other suggested pulls from the court?
Okay.
Judge, not hearing any, we have those suggested pull items.
Okay, with the exception of those pulled items, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion to approve.
Second. Have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell.
Commissioner
Okay.
Snell, aye.
Commissioner Miller.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton, aye. Will Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry,
Aye.
pass.
All right, under E3, Human Resources, under E3A is County Sheriff, discussion and or action regarding use of overtime fund for offsite screening of jury panel and jury trials due to COVID-19. David Ives, are you on the line?
Yes, sir, I am. So this is in regards to impaneling juries and voir dire that's going to be taking place at the convention center. And what we are requesting is the usage of overtime fund within the Department 2200 to staff that offsite secure location that's going to be used for those purposes. Specifically, this is due to COVID. The juries are being impaneled there due to COVID, and we want to use this time to do that as well.
Okay, any questions for David?
Maybe more question for you. What's our time frame looking like now?
Well, of course, Judge Strother extended the start date to middle of November, but I don't know whether even after that he's gonna, agree for a start. So, we'll just have to see, but it won't be any quicker than November the 16th, I think. So,
And
I mean, I
Judge,
really, yeah.
Judge, I can add a little bit to it.
Yeah.
We've seen signed contracts between, from the convention center with November 30th as the next date. So I don't believe anything will be done on the 16th. So the 30th might be the first date.
Okay. All right. Okay, any other questions about that? It kind of seems like the logical approach for the sheriff's department. If not, is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell, aye.
Mr. Miller? Judge Felton, aye. Commissioner Jones?
Aye.
Commissioner Perry?
Aye.
Pass. Okay,
All right, under E3B Specialty Court, this agenda item will need to be deferred.
okay, is there a motion to defer?
So move.
Second.
Motion and a second, any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote. Commissioner Snell?
Aye.
Commissioner Miller?
Aye.
Judge Felton, aye. Commissioner Jones?
Aye.
Commissioner Perry?
Aye.
Pass. All right,
Under E3C 1 and 2, we would like to hold those items until later in the agenda.
okay,
So that'll bring us down to E6A, County Auditor, recording a monthly financial report, October 2019 to August 2020. And I believe Francis would like to go over this report.
okay.
All right, good morning.
Morning.
The report that you have in your packet is a monthly report through the end of August. So it's just a snapshot of the activity through August 31st. But of course, our fiscal year is complete now. We accrue back expenditures and revenues for 60 days past year end. So through the end of November, we're still making adjustments and then of course making closing entries and accounting entries. But I wanted to give you an idea of where we are going to end up when everything is said and done at September 30th. So I'm going to share my screen. Hey, let me know if you can't see that. But like I said, I just wanted to give you an idea of where, with some estimates put in, where we think we'll end up as of September 30th. Just starting with the general fund. This slide here, you'll see that middle column, that'll show you the original budget for fiscal year 2020. So you'll see there, what we estimated to begin with, and then our budgeted revenues and expenditures. And then we were estimating to come down to that $38.7 million fund balance number. And that met our fund balance goal of the 33%. So then if you go over to the far right column, this is going to show you where we actually ended up, like I said, with some estimates incorporated in. So our beginning fund balance, very similar to what we originally thought it would be. Our revenues actually we're estimating to come in just a little bit over $1 million more than were budgeted. And expenditures, we're estimating that that's going to be about $8.5 million less than was budgeted, which is more, of course, than we usually see. And so estimating there to come down to a fund balance of right under 49 million. So of course that far and exceeds our fund balance goal. But that these estimates were incorporated into our budget discussions this past summer. So those numbers were, moved forward into the 2021 year, and that's what you used to fund part of the 2021 budget. One other note before I move on is that there are also expenditures that will be moved out of general fund into the CARES Act funding. And so once we know those numbers, we can incorporate those as well. But those are some additional changes to these numbers. The next slide you know, I just wanted to just touch a little bit on our debt service fund and our permanent improvement fund. They are the other two funds that are supported by ad valorem taxes. And so you'll see at the top there, our debt service fund, we were estimating to come at 1.9 million, and we ended at 1.9 million. That fund is, it's consistent, and it's very easy to know where we're going to end up there because our debt service expenditures are set from the beginning. And then on the bottom section, that is the permanent improvement fund. And you'll see there that our beginning fund balance was a little more than we expected, and didn't spend everything we had budgeted. So we ended a little better, about 1.3 million more than we had originally budgeted. But again, those estimates were incorporated into our budget discussions this summer, and those additional funds were used to fund the 2021 budget. And stop me if y'all have any questions. So going back to general fund, I just wanted to focus on revenues for a minute. I broke down revenues here into tax revenue, fine and fee revenue, and then just a other revenue category. The tax revenues, those include property tax, our sales tax, and then some other taxes like bingo taxes, alcoholic beverage tax, things like that. So you'll see there that we came just right, or we are planning to come just right under what we budgeted. We budgeted that 99.4 million and are looking to come right over 99 million. Our fines and fees revenues, those were just slightly under what we budgeted. So very close to our actual budget. And then other revenues, we came in close to $1 million more. And that line item includes things, interlocal agreements, interest revenue, commission revenue. So you'll see there the total, just about 350,000 more than we budgeted. So we're looking to come in right where we originally thought we would in total. Focusing on the sales tax trend, you'll see there that for 2020, after we receive our final payment for the month of September, it looks like we'll be at about $19.6 million in sales tax revenue for the year. If you look at the bottom of that graph, I've put in the percentage that sales tax is increasing each year, and you'll see there from moving from 19 into 2020, there was a 5% increase actually over the prior year. So, and we haven't seen an increase that high since 2016. General fund expenditures, like I said before, we're looking to come substantially under budget. So I just wanted to just kind of hone in on some of the large categories that make up that under budget number. I pulled in all personnel cost, and it looks like we'll come in right under 3 million under budget. That's about double what we usually see coming in under budget each year. So that's a little bit different than we usually see. Indigent healthcare coming in about 1.7 million under budget. And of course, that is because this year we made the change to move to paying the indigent expenses directly instead of paying the bulk amount into the waiver. And so, Heather had conversations with you about that over the summer, and that they hope to reach out to more clientele. So that number is different than what we usually see. Indigent defense, we usually never come under budget there. And you'll see we're going to come about 1.2 million under budget. And so I know that's kind of self-explanatory why indigent defense fell below what we budgeted for this year. And then supplies and equipment, I just rolled up any line item that was related to supplies or equipment in the general fund, all departments, and we'll come in about $1 million under budget. And that is about double what we usually see for that category. So I just wanted to just highlight some of those areas that were under budget and how those look different from prior years. So then changing gears a little bit, looking at the permanent improvement funds related to our bonds that we have been using, and that's the 2016, 17, and 19 bonds. And this is just a lot of the lines are rolled up, so I wanted to make it simple to look at. But you'll see at the top what we began with and the interest revenue that we've earned to date. And we're sitting, we had 43.8 million that was available to spend. That middle section, you'll see there what we've spent. We've spent a little over 21 million, and that's related to ADA modifications, the big road projects, facility improvements and purchases, and then our tower project. And then that leaves us about 22.5 million in fund balance at this moment. However, there are projects that you've already approved, and there's work that is pending that will eat into that amount. So you'll see those categories there at the bottom. Again, the ADA modifications, the road projects, facility improvements, our tower project. And then I have plugged in some amounts for ADA projects and roof projects that haven't been bid out or haven't been discussed yet, but we know that are on the horizon. And that leaves that available fund debt balance down there at the bottom of right at $500,000. So I know there's some bridge projects in the work and some other small projects related to facility improvements. So, that's there to take care of those. And of course, if any of these projects come in under budget, then we would have more available there. So is any questions? I know I went through that kind of fast.
All right, any questions anyone would have? All right, is there a motion to approve?
Yeah, I've got a real quick question. Francis,
Yes,
how
sir.
much did we estimate that our sales tax revenue is going to be for 21?
For 21, number. At the time, not knowing what the last months of the year would be, we budgeted 18 million. So like I said, we're looking to collect 19.6 for 2020. So 18 million is the budget that we have set for next year. And if things track along the way they did this year, even with the closures and the COVID issues going on, we should definitely, I would say, collect that 18 million or in excess of 18 million.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, is there a motion to approve Francis's report for recording purposes?
So moved.
Second.
Motion's made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller, Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Okay, Dustin?
All right, moving on to F and F1 regarding the FY20 budget. Francis, would you like to cover those budget amendments?
Yes, sir. So let's see. Starting with F1, these are budget amendments for fiscal year 2020. F1A, general fund for Commissioner Court. There's a request to increase other services and charges for additional amounts needed for the sign language interpretation cost. F1B, this is general fund for Jack Harwell Detention Center. An additional amount was needed for food services to complete the year, and they were able to move within that department. F1C, this is general fund for JP Precinct 4, a very small amount needed in other services and charges for copier maintenance cost for the year, and they were able to move the money within that department. F1D, this is in the law library fund, and this is for JP3. There's an amount needed to complete the year for legal reference materials, and that's coming from contingencies within the law library fund. F1E, I believe we need to pull it with no action. F1F, general fund for Road and Bridge Precinct 4, and they are requesting to move within their department into professional services for services performed by Walker Partners for Panther Branch.
And Judge, those are the budget amendments under F1, so we would need a motion to approve F1A, B, C, D, and F.
Okay, is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Bolton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass.
All right, F1G is authorization of invoice from Haley and Olson PC regarding the zoo bond. Francis?
Yes, so that is an invoice, like you said, from Haley and Olson. It covers legal costs for the month of September related to our zoo bond project. And so we're bringing that to approval because it will be taken out of zoo bond proceeds.
Okay, any questions on that? What's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Bolton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass.
All right, moving on to F2 regarding the FY21 budget. Francis?
Yes, sir. So F2, budget amendments for FY21, starting with F2A. This is in the Justice Technology Fund, and the request is from JP11 to increase furniture and equipment for the purchase of 3 scanners. And that is coming from contingencies in the Justice Technology Fund. F2B1, this is for the Sheriff's Office, and the request is to move funds from the capital outlay line item into furniture and equipment. It is needed for the cost to outfit a 2016 Dodge Caravan, which they currently own, but they are using funds that were budgeted for unmarked vehicles in the capital outlay line item. So we just need to get those funds into the correct line. F2B2, this is also capital outlay related. There were 2 vans that the Sheriff's Office had purchased in the prior fiscal year, but didn't receive them until this year. And the budget amendment was done for that on the last agenda, but there was an additional amount needed for tent and graphics. So this is increasing capital outlay by the $2,150 for those costs related to those vans. F2C, general fund for specialty court. The request is to increase repair and maintenance for the annual BIS renewal contract. This wasn't in the original budget. So that increase is needed for the renewal for this year. And then F2D, this is general fund for Commissioner's Court. And the request is to increase repair and maintenance for the Civic Plus annual premium and fee renewal. And this also was something that wasn't included in the original budget. So that line item will need to be increased for the annual renewal.
All right, Judge, so we would need a motion. The other 2 items are not budget amendments, so F2A through F2D.
Okay, any questions about those? If not, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Bolton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Okay,
All right.
F2E.
Moving on to F2E, this is McLennan and Hill Counties, Tawakona Creek Water Improvement District discussion and or action regarding funding requests for baseline water quality study. This agenda item was deferred last court session, and we reached out to Dr. Lear last Friday, and he was going to reach back out to some of the other parties, and I don't believe he is on the Zoom meeting. So Judge, I think it would be best if we defer it at this time until we can get more information.
Okay. All right. Is there a motion to defer?
Motion to defer.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller, Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass.
All right, F2F is McLennan County Spaceport Development Corporation authorization of Global Spaceport Alliance membership fees. These fees total $1,500, and this is an allowable expense, and we do have those funds available in the spaceport item in the Economic Development Fund.
Okay, any questions about that? If not, is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second? Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Okay,
All right,
G.
Moving to item G, under G1, we have authorization of renewal for bid 20-002 unleaded and diesel fuel for McLennan County. Ken?
Yes, sir. Again, the bid was done in 2020. We contacted Fox Wholesale, who has the current contract, to see if they'd be willing to renew for another year. They said that they would renew with same terms and conditions for an additional year. And if the court approves, this contract would be in effect from December 1, 2020 through November 30th, 2021.
Okay, are there any questions on that? If not, is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Okay.
G2 is authorization of recommendation for bid 21-001 McLennan County ADA renovations to the MHMR Crisis Center. Ken?
This is one of those situations where something kind of happened at the last moment. An addendum 3 was trying to be issued like on the very last day, and I initially tried to stop it, and it didn't get fully halted. So there was a mismatch in our responses, and I believe the best course of action is to reject all bids, and then we'll go back out for bid again on this project. Having a conversation with CPNY and with TJ, in our next bid, we'll probably add renovation of the roof as well. It'll make it back to a level playing field for all respondents. But our recommendation on bid 21-001 is to reject all bids.
All right, are there any questions? Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to reject all bids and go back out for bid.
Second the motion.
Motion been made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller, Commissioner Miller, Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass.
All right, moving on to H. Under H1, we have authorization of agreements and related documents with CTWP. Under H1A is regarding copier for adult probation, and H1B is regarding copier for JP Precinct 3.
Yes, sir. I'll make a correction in a minute to that. But yes, on H1A, it's for 2 copiers for adult probation. This is a purchase, and so really we're just looking at the service agreement. And for the two copiers, the maintenance amount will be for the base rate $2,695, and that's for 385,000 copies. That's $2,695 annually, and their overage rate will be 0.007 cents. But the purchase price for the copiers was $25,546.24.
Okay, any questions? Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve H. Are we doing both?
Not just H1A right now.
Motion to approve H1A.
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any discussion? No discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Okay. H1B.
Yes, sir. Actually, this is a lease for a mailing machine. One mailing machine for precinct 3, JP 3, sorry. And the lease amount is for 60 months is $192.30 per month. Then they have a service agreement that is additional $35 per month. And again, that's a lease for a mailing machine.
Okay, any questions? If not, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. H2.
H2 is authorization of interlocal cooperation agreement with Bell County regarding housing and care of inmates. And this is to house and care Bell County inmates at the Highway 6 Jail or Jack Harwell Detention Center at a per diem rate of $84 per day.
All right, any questions on that? What's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Okay, next
All right.
is H3.
H3 is authorization of cooperative agreement with Texas State Soil and Water Conservation Board regarding Cow Bayou Site 10 structural repair. Zane, and this also goes with agenda item J2.
Yes, sir. This item is, both items are related, and one is that the actual change order for $7,227.78. And we need to do a little bit more vegetation and seeding. Had some fence work, some earth work, sedimentation filters, and rock riprap. And the other item is would be approving changing the agreement with the Texas State Soil Water Conservation Board to allow that change order. So my recommendation is for approval on both items.
And Judge, J2 is regarding the Cow Bayou Site 10 structural repair project authorization change order as Zane just mentioned.
Okay. All right, what's the pleasure of the court?
Well, just a second. Zane?
Yeah.
Question. Now, is this the site in the Lorena location that we were working on?
Down on Spring Valley.
It is?
Yes.
And is this going to address all the landowners' needs?
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Any other questions? All right, is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Is there a
Second.
second? All right, have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Okay, passed.
And Judge, did that take care of both H3 and J2?
Yes.
Okay. All right, moving on to I, under I1, we'd like to hold this until later in the meeting.
Okay.
Moving on to J1 regarding ADA renovations of Extraco Event Center, agreement with John W. Irwin Construction, authorization of application for payment number 5. Ian?
Yeah, as stated, this is for payment number 5. I've reviewed this. Dustin's reviewed it. It's been signed off by CPNY, and their draw request is for $31,373.
Any questions? If not, is there a motion to approve?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. All right.
Moving on to K, real estate right-of-way of easements. Under K1, we have discussion and or action regarding property at the end of Redfish Lane. This agenda item was deferred by the court last court session, and Haley and Olson Law Firm has continued to work on it, as well as our engineer's office. And at this time, it appears that there is no good equitable solution for all those property owners in the area. Of course, as we all know, counties are limited in how we can dispose of property. And then there are some different issues with this land as well. And Zane is, of course, on the call, and if the court has any questions, he can help answer those as well. But as we know, Redfish Lane is a private road. Redfish Lane and that property that Mr. Courage owns is in the city of Hallsburg. And when you're looking for a way to secure the lakeshore property that would allow the other property owners access, as we saw last time from the map, there's just not a good equitable way to be able to do that at this time. Haley Olson Law Firm is continuing to look for solutions, and I believe engineer office is as well. But at this time, we just don't see a good solution at this point.
Any questions anyone have on that?
I have one question. I know when Mr. Curtis was here before, he mentioned that Luminet had given him an offer, and he was asking the county to, I guess, do the same thing that Luminet had offered him. Exactly what is it that Luminet was going to do for him that he was asking of us?
I've got no knowledge of any communication between him and Lumen at all.
Okay.
So I don't know.
I believe in his letter, Commissioner, that Luminet had offered what he called the flood stage property in between as either for purchase or some sort of license agreement. But I do know that when the engineer's office had looked at that area, we believe the acreage is actually smaller than what was denoted in Mr. Courage's letter as well. So,
Is this an issue that he has with us, or is this an issue that he has with his adjoining neighbors in the city of Hallsburg? Is this even something that we can cure for him?
I mean, that's a good question. I mean, it does appear to be a large part of just kind of a private ownership issue, with the fact that there is a county property that surrounds it. I don't know, Zane, did you have anything that you'd like to add to that?
His letter basically was stating that he would like for the county to offer the property, flood stage, what he's calling flood stage property, for the county to make an offer to sell that property to him. Now, when he was talking last time, he did mention that he'd had troubles with his neighbors, and with the unkept, that the flood stage property was unkept, it's high weeds, and that he was having concerns about the public approaching his property from that flood stage property. But in his letter to the court, he did not request anything other than he was hoping that the court would offer to sell him a small piece of property so that he could, I guess, keep the public away from that property and assure his access to the lake.
Zane, this is Mike. Have we received complaints from any other landowners out there?
Not to my knowledge, no.
My question, I guess, would be, it seems that there is, this is an open-ended issue. We're not able to bring it to a close. So what I would feel comfortable with is what he's asking, I guess it's a question for you, Mike, is what he's asking legally something that the county should or can consider? Because if not, we need to direct him to who he actually needs to go to for his cure. If we can't provide that pathway of resolution, then I think we shouldn't just kind of hold him out in abeyance. Let's point him in the direction of the entities or the resolution. If it's not us, we just need to point him in the correct direction and not just kind of hang him on.
Well, it would be with us to some extent, but right now we're not seeing a way to just transmit to him a ownership or license in what's essentially part of the park land. And then, you know, we also have to worry about the other landowners out there. And part of the problem appears to be a complaint about use of the road by not just the public, but other neighbors. So I don't know that we can fix all those problems. Now, what we will look at more intensely is whether, like the Corps of Engineers, we could put up pipe fencing at the ends of the area that was, you know, that at least keeps vehicles out of there, and then that may offer some assistance to everyone. And what I'm talking about, the ends of the shoreline.
Right, right. And I know he's been, to my knowledge, he brought it to my attention in 2018. So he's been dealing with it at least 2 years, maybe even longer. And at some point I can understand where his frustration is built up. I don't want to get into the tenets of the neighbor disputes. I really was just looking at legally what is his pathway to a resolution that would need the assistance of the county, because I think that's the only thing we could really consider for him. But if we're going to continue to look at it and try to get there, then I understand that too. Do we, as far as the action today then, are we going to continue to work on this and pull it? Are we going to visit with him? Is there some action to take today?
There's no action to be taken today, but we're continuing to look at it, but looking at it from more of a standpoint of keep addressing any concerns about people driving up in there or having wild parties on the shoreline there, by putting up possibly something similar to the Corps of Engineers piping with reflective tape and all that, and maybe some signage about, possibly no fires, no, a time after which no one could be on there, something like that. And we could create that by order. Or we could possibly create by order that this is a restricted area or something. But we're gonna have to look at that closer.
Okay. Would it be something similar to what we did at Patrick Crossing? But I guess the difference in that is that all the property owners.
Yeah, well, at Patrick's Crossing, we abandoned the public's right. Here we have park property, and it's a lot harder. Well, Judge, didn't we include that part in the park?
Well, it's all property that was transferred from Luminant to the county, and then we established the park. I don't think we can, really, we're looking at more all the improvements and everything we've done with the park has been, in a very concentrated area, and then a couple of different other parks. But from that property along that shoreline, we haven't really done anything with. I would not think we would want to include it as a active park area.
Well, I think that we have to some extent by accepting the donation for that, but that's another thing we'll have to look at.
Yeah. But when you talked about putting up a barrier, you're talking about like at the end of where we use as the park, a small barrier there, but not a barrier between the 28 or 30 different landowners in our property. I wouldn't think we.
No, I'm talking about at the end.
Yeah.
It would keep people from coming down the.
Yeah, and I'm not aware of anybody doing that. That's not what his complaint is. His is access. It's his property. His and the neighbors split the road. That's their business.
Well, then they need to put a gate up. If it's a private road, you can put a gate up.
Well, but we have no involvement in that. That's a private property owner's decision.
That's exactly right.
So, but right now the adjoining landowners take care of the property between them and the water that was Luminant, now is McLennan County's, and we haven't been involved in it, and they've evidently been getting along pretty well, with the exception of this gentleman and his neighbor. So I don't see where we can be involved in that.
Okay, well, I will continue to look at it, and the main area of looking at it is to address the possibility of anybody coming down that shoreline with vehicles or anything. But anyway, I think we just pass over it today with the understanding that we're still looking at it.
And you said, Mike, it's a private road, right?
The Redfish Lane is a private road. And it's also in the city of Hallsburg. So even if it wasn't a private road, it would be Hallsburg's road.
Right. Well, I was just thinking if him and his neighbor are the only ones using it, it's just like a driveway. They put a fence across there. They put a fence across there. They both have access to it because it's their property.
Yeah.
But as far as the lake goes, it won't limit people from coming on the lake and then using the shoreline. We don't restrict that. But that way, we won't have anybody going past his house or the other house.
Well, and as far as the pipe fencing I was talking about, that was more to prevent vehicles on that shoreline, like all-terrain vehicles and stuff like that. Not necessarily to keep the public out completely, but to limit what type of access. If it's a fisherman with his fishing pole climbing over the pipe and going fishing on that side, that's one thing. But you know, when you start getting four-wheelers and stuff like that coming down through there, that's a problem.
Okay, any other questions or comments anyone have? And as Mr. Dixon pointed out, there's no action required, just a discussion. Okay. Nothing else? Dustin?
All right, we can move on to L, grants and grants proposals. Under L1 is regarding the Bureau of Justice Assistance Bulletproof Vest Partnership Program, acceptance of the FY20 grant award. And we submitted this grant back in September, and we were notified that we will receive an award totaling $2,383.80 for bulletproof vests. So we just need a motion to approve that grant award.
Okay, is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Okay.
All right, L2 is regarding the 2020 State Homeland Security Grant Program, acceptance of grant award. This is regarding the Sheriff's Office Bomb Squad equipment. Back in February, the court approved the submission of this grant application. We've been notified that we've been awarded a grant totaling $63,975 for a digital x-ray system. And I believe Michael Graham is available if there are any questions.
Okay, any questions? What's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass.
All right, moving down to M, Department Office Specific Requests. Under M1, County Sheriff. M1A is authorization of cell phone request. Ken?
Yes, sir. The Sheriff's Office is requesting 3 new cell phones for investigator positions. They're wanting iPhones through Verizon. And as usual, the monthly service for each phone will be $39.99 plus taxes. The cost of the phone, there's no charge. In the sheriff's offices, they have the budget to support the charges.
Okay, any questions about that? All right, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass.
All right, under M1B, this is authorization of phone request, and this is at Highway 6. Jail Administration has requested a new phone. And phone network connection exists, but a new phone and user license is needed. However, we can pull those from the on-hand phone inventory, and Lisa's on if there are any additional questions.
Any questions anyone have? Okay. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass.
All right, moving down to N, under N2 regarding McLennan County Group Health Plan. Anna, do you have anything for court on this today?
Good morning. No, at this time, we don't have anything that would require the court's action. Just as an update, though, we've had good feedback on the new system, and we have about 10% of employees who completed enrollment successfully on the first day. So I think we're showing good progress so far.
Great. All right, any questions for Anna? Okay,
All right, under N3 is discussion and or action regarding the deferring payroll tax obligations. I know we have deferred this several times and we're waiting until some additional legislative action was taken.
I make a motion we defer. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass.
All right, N4 is discussion and or action regarding request to light the courthouse yellow and or red for National School Choice Week.
Okay. Any questions or comments on that?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell, Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass.
N5 is authorization of orders accepting donations. Under N5A is regarding the monetary donation for the cold case unit. Francis?
Yes, so this is an order for the court to decide to accept a monetary donation from Sammy Citrano in the amount of $1,000 to be dedicated to the cold case unit. And the sheriff's office might have some additional info that they want to share about this. But if not, then
Well-
we don't need to.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Francis. I have Captain January here with me that would like to give just a little bit of info in regards to that.
In reference to the donation?
Yes.
Yes, we greatly appreciate the Commissioners Court allowing Sammy Citrano to donate this money. Currently, our cold case unit has 40 requests or 40 items, different cases on our list. We have 14 that have been resolved. That includes questionable deaths and also homicides. We went back over some questionable deaths, make sure they were in fact, not non-criminal. We currently have four cases that we have solved. 3 are indicted. We are trying to retrieve one person from out of the country. And then we also have 2 cases that we're fixing to present to the grand jury. So that'll be a total of 6 solved cases. But anyway, this money will help because we are having to travel a little bit, and we're also having to use some funds on some investigations as far as surveillance or different things that we're having to do.
Okay, any questions anyone have? Okay, is there a motion to approve the acceptance of the donation?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Okay.
Or under N5B, this is regarding donations for the specialty court programs. Francis?
Yeah, so this is a list of the donations that were made to the specialty court programs for the month of October. So they just need an acceptance by the court.
Okay, is there a motion to accept?
So moved.
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Okay.
Under N6, this is authorization of intergovernmental transfers of funds derived from the county healthcare provider participation fund mandatory payments. Heather?
Yeah, this is for the Europe. It's program year 4, and this is the final IGT for that. We don't have the actual IGT amount yet, so we're just requesting the LPP fund up to the $9,910,241.61.
Okay, any questions on that? If not, is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve the transfer of funds up to the amount in the LPPF.
Second.
Motion been made second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass.
All right, N7 is discussion and or action on granting exemption for competitive bidding under local government code section 262.024A2 for the purchase of a rescue boat for the sheriff's office. And I know there's representatives from the sheriff's office on the line, but I'll kind of cover the order. This back in April, the court certified revenue from a state farm grant that would allow for funds to be used for purchase of a water rescue boat. The sheriff's office was also going to use forfeiture funds to go along with that. These boats are specialized watercraft and are not widely available and must be generally ordered and fabricated. This one that they're looking at is already fabricated, and it is needed to protect and preserve public safety and save lives. And so the purchase of this boat is exempt from competitive bidding since it is necessary to protect or preserve public health or safety of the residents of the county pursuant to section 262.024A2 of the local government code. And so, Judge, if the court is willing, it would just be a motion to approve the exemption from competitive bidding.
Okay, any questions anyone have? If not, is there a motion to accept?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass.
All right, N8 is authorization of Texas Department of State Health Services consent forms permits for Restland Cemetery subject to the requester meeting all necessary requirements. Heather?
So we've received a request from a next of kin to disinter 10 decedents from the Restland Cemetery. And Brent with Lake Shore has completed the permits. They'll need to be submitted to the state to be approved, but first they have to be signed off by the county. Do you want me to give more information about who the permits are for, or?
Yeah, a little more.
Okay, so they are for 10 of the previous Branch Davidian folks. We have a Serenity Jones. There's 2 twin Jones babies, so those are 2 separate plots as well. We have Rachel Koresh, Cyrus Howell, Star Howell, Bobby Koresh, Perry Jones, David Jones, and Michelle Thibodeau. And so there's actually 2 next of kins that will be signing the permit. We have one next of kin that will be signing for 9 of the Jones family members. And then Mr. Thibodeau, David Thibodeau, will be signing for his wife. And they're going to be moved from Restland to Rosemound.
Okay. All right, any questions on that?
The requester is working with Lake Shore Funeral Home to arrange this, and so these are, of course, subject to meeting all necessary requirements. And there is, a funding piece of that that's due to Lake Shore that will be covered by the family, though.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then the county will be reimbursed for the original cost associated with those burials, which I think is about $3,500, and that's all included in the arrangements that are being made between Lake Shore and the next of kin.
Okay. All right, any questions? What's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion been made second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones, Commissioner
Aye.
Jones, Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass.
All right, N9 is authorization of order approving addendum to the county's March 31st, 2020 order addressing employee absences resulting from COVID-19 and providing for sick leave for absences resulting from COVID-19 related matters. Anna and Mike, do y'all want to speak to this?
I can speak to that, Dustin. So earlier this year, an order was approved outlining the eligible reasons to take leave under the FFCRA for employees. And this addendum is just adding or clarifying an additional reason under FFCRA for which an employee can take leave, and it's related to school-imposed quarantines. And we want to be sure our employees can be eligible for that. If this is approved and backdated, it would affect about 5 employees. So it's not a lot of employees are requesting to take the leave, but we've had 5 so far that would be eligible should the addendum take effect.
And this is specifically with relation to employees in a household where there's been a COVID case, and then the kids, the health district has told the schools not to let the kids come back to school for 14 days after the last symptoms. So it puts the parent employee in a hard situation of, well, if the kids can't go back to school, then we have to take care of them. And it's not something that's expressly covered by the FFCRA, but I think that's just because they couldn't address everything that could possibly come up. So we're asking that the court address it. And it has no real budget effect, because any sick leave that would be paid out would be paid from their budgeted salary. So it's not like there's new money having to be created for this.
Any questions? What's the pleasure of the court?
Approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. Call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller, Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass.
All right, we have nothing under O with Americans with Disabilities Compliance Project. Under P, the McLennan County Venue Project. Under P2, we do have a quick update from Kevin Carr on the venue project. And then after that, we will jump down to P4, which will be a discussion interaction on designating location and placement of a dedication monument. And for that item, we will have Kevin and then representatives from Populous on the line as well. So,
Good morning, everybody. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes, sir.
All right, we're going to do a little back in time as well, and then talk about, like Dustin said, we have a proposal, and this is a little back in time as well. Relative to, I think if everybody remembers, so I thought I'd take us back a little bit just to kind of look back of where we've come from. So if everybody can see my screen, here's kind of a snapshot from October of 2019. Just kind of a little history and time leading into our discussion on this dedication monument, what we'd like to do out on the physical project. But here's October 2019. Here's if everybody remembers what we looked like in March of this particular year. We were just finishing up the structure and starting to put the outside of the building together. Here we sat 2 weeks back in October of 2020. where we're actually completing the exterior envelope of the building as we work to complete the building interiors as well. So we're rapidly approaching project completion. So here's kind of the main entry elements. If everybody remembers the whole tree column design discussion and all that, Bill with Populous Architects talk in just a second. But again, back in time, we created a half-scale mock-up of the tree column, if everybody remembers. So this element is basically, it's about 6'6" tall to the peak there. It's about 17 feet wide. We still have this entire mock-up out on the project site. And so we've been talking behind the scenes as a group. Is there a way that we can utilize this, incorporate this into the permanent project? So that kind of spawned the idea of maybe incorporating it into a dedication type monument for the particular project. And so I think that's where I'll let Bill Bourne kind of take over and talk and kind of discuss what the thinking is and how we can actually incorporate our original tree column mock-up into the actual permanent project. So I think with that, I'll let Bill Bourne with Populous take over.
All right, thanks, Kevin. Yeah, it's a great use of the monument or the mock-up that's already on site. And we had previously reviewed some options with the county in terms of location on the site. We looked at a handful of locations and really settled on, what would be the best location to get the most use, not only for the Expo Center, but also, for the whole site as well, and creating this destination. The idea is for this, dedication plaza to create an opportunity to recognize the individuals and organizations that help make this project, the venue project and the Expo Center project happen, as well as those who have built the project as well. There's been a lot of great community engagement, and it's been a great project, and want to provide an opportunity to recognize those individuals and organizations. So we landed on the Southwest Plaza. We had some additional landscaping area over there and went through a lot of pros and cons on the different locations, but thought that this was the most flexible to incorporate at this time. We're using the same stones that are used elsewhere within the landscaping to build this up onto a plinth that people can gather around. It could be an opportunity for, a place for people to meet before they go to an expo event or even a Coliseum event. This on the southwest corner here, it's between both of the buildings, or also between or before going into the fair. And then, as well as if you have an all-day tournament or conference, it's a feature, a gathering place that people could break out of inside the hall and meet and gather during an all-day event. So part of the design, we rotated the plinth to match the landscaping angle, as well as other elements within the building, like the porch angle, which echoes the angle of this stem or tree columns. It also creates a better backdrop for photos, like group or team photos, and as well as you'll see the next, this would be kind of your opportunity looking back at the expo hall, showing this is, again, these are conceptual renderings. We'll get into more details with the consultants and with Irwin, but, again, adding places for people to sit, hang out, and having this feature incorporated with it. And then, looking at more of a night shot again, as you're approaching, say, the entry to the fairgrounds, or if somebody is parking over here and going to a Coliseum event, it is along that pathway, and that angle does, it features both the Coliseum and the Expo Center as well. So looking forward to, seeing if the court agrees on this approach and this dedication, again, to all all the individuals and organizations that made this project happen.
All right, any questions about that? Looks like an ideal location to me. I know y'all put a lot of thought into it, so yeah, I feel good about this. Any thoughts from any of the other members of the court?
It looks like a good location to me. It looks like it's going to be very visible, and I like the idea of using that same design that's in the front of the building. I think that adds a lot to the exterior structure.
Yeah. Okay. So, Dustin, what action do we need on that?
We would actually need action on designating that location of the dedication monument.
Okay, is there a motion to approve that action?
Make a motion to approve the monument and the location.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Thanks.
Thank you.
Right. Thank you all. All right, we will move on to P2A. This is authorization of application and certificate of payment number 21. This is a motion to, this is application and certification for payment number 21 totaling $1,817,648. And this would be to John Irwin Construction.
All that's been reviewed.
Yes, sir. Ken and I have both reviewed it and it is okay to pay.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right. Motion been made second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass.
All right, under P3, this is regarding engineering services agreement with Walker Partners. This is P3A is authorization of invoice number 0103140.01-19308. This is an invoice totaling $2,700 for the topographic survey of Area C and the final plat. And we have reviewed it and it is okay to pay.
All right, any questions? Not, is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass.
All right, we'll go back up to I under the Waco McLennan County Economic Development Corporation. Under I1, this is authorization of program project agreement with the city of Waco. Chris?
Thanks, Gus. So what you have before you, and I'm going to share my screen, is a program project agreement with the Economic Development Corporation. To support a infrastructure related to share this. So the project that we're looking at is improvements to Mars Drive, extending from Hewitt Drive all the way to Texas Central Parkway, and then from on Old Hewitt from Imperial to the intersection at Mars Drive. And the reason that we're looking at this is related to the needs for enhancements there. There's a lot of, I'm sorry, I rolled up to the wrong piece. There we go. If you think about that road right now, there's a lot of traffic that occurs in this area, industrial traffic mixed along with traditional citizen traffic and also with the high school being located there. That it's creating conditions at intersections, and the amount of traffic that we're seeing here was the road wasn't built to accommodate this level of traffic. Creates quite a bit of congestion as we roll through. You can see that the lanes there are very narrow. It creates traffic issues where law enforcement has to be present to help direct traffic at times, and does not allow for pedestrian access, safe pedestrian access, especially with the number of students that are in that area. There is heavy traffic that runs through that during peak periods of traffic congestion. So you have student traffic intermingled with industrial traffic, and that creates a number of challenges all the way around. There are drainage concerns out there, and they're just issues that we want to help resolve. When we look at the level of impact is both on Old Hewitt Road and on Mars Drive. And if you've been out there at any period of time, you can tell that there's a lot of congestion out there, and that both roadways continue to deteriorate. There are some other challenges out there related to drainage, where the culverts over the creek are undersized to only accommodate for a 2-year storm event versus the minimum 25 years that needs to occur. That washes out the road and further deteriorates the area. So what has been proposed by the city of Waco are significant enhancements to the road, both roadways, including along Mars Drive, pedestrian enhancements. So you can see that here at the intersection of Mars Drive and Old Hewitt Road, there would be significant improvements made there, become a signalized intersection as well. There would be pedestrian walkways allowing for safer access for students, and as well as signalized turn lanes for both the student and parent traffic and the industrial traffic through that area. Looking at the Old Hewitt transition here, it's just another viewpoint where you can see how that would work. And then looking at one of the other areas, Mars Drive does have an active rail crossing for a spur that services the Mars Wrigley site. What we're looking at for Mars Drive is to create a widened road and also a contiguous turn lane down Mars Drive that would allow for safer traffic movements along that roadway, and also enhanced crossing at the railroad. So it would become, it is not a signalized crossing now, other than the signals there. So it would be the addition of arms to that rail crossing, and additional improvements there, making it a much safer area for traffic coming in and out of the industrial park. One of the reasons it is an extensive project, and it budgeted at $11.5 million. There's significant economic impact related to these two roads, where you have 4 significant industrial businesses that collectively represent over 2,000 jobs and $350 million worth of annual taxable value to the city, the county, the school district, and the community college. The road conditions are such that it can impede the future growth of these businesses, and the Economic Development Corporation, understanding the constraints of all parties, felt that the economic impact would be significant enough to allow for the usage of funds through the Economic Development Corporation to make this project happen. The project would begin in the 2021 timeframe, early 2021, and be completed. The projected completion is by December 31st, 2023. The county's portion of the $3.4 million is $1.7 million, and it would be paid within 45 days of the city demonstrating that it had issued bonds significant for the construction of the project. I did run an economic impact analysis on this just based off of the current economic impact of those 4 businesses. And the county's portion of that has 117% rate of return in 0.9 years. And combined with between the city and the county, it's 0.7 years on the number of years for payback and 152%. So these companies are making significant impacts, and the improvements to these roads will further help expand their operations in the near and long-term futures.
All right, is there any questions for Chris? Well, as you pointed out, it not only helps the existing businesses there, but the future expansion of all that area over there will benefit from it as well. Any questions? Okay, Dustin, what action do we need on that?
It would be a motion to approve. I'm trying to think how it's worded. Let me look real quick, Judge.
Program project agreement with the city of Waco.
No, get a new one.
Yes. Motion to approve the program project agreement with the city of Waco.
Okay. Is there any questions anyone have? What's the pleasure of the court?
Make a motion to approve the agreement.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass.
All right, and if it's okay with the court, we still have those 2 HR items, but we do have 2 executive session matters that if we could do the executive sessions first and then go back to those open session items, is that okay with the court?
I think that's a good plan.
Okay. Judge, did you want to take a break before we head into executive session?
Yeah, let's take a 5-minute recess, and then we'll come back and go, and I'll announce the sections that we'll be going under executive session on. So let's see, it is 10:33, so at 10:38 we'll come back. Thank you.
Hey Siri, call Dustin Chapman.
Calling Dustin Chapman.
Judge, this is William from IT. Are you guys going into executive session right now?
Yes.
Okay.
We're going into an executive session under section 551.074 of the Government Code regarding personnel matters, as well as section 551.087 regarding economic development. And Dustin Chapman and Mike Dixon will stay in both of those. And then Chris Collins will be in on the economic development discussion. So Dustin.
gone before he reached down to pop those stairs up.
On mute. Judge, I'm going to start the recording now.
Thank you.
This meeting is being recorded.
Okay, let's call court back into session. It's 11:06. Dustin?
Yes, sir. Going back to item E3C, Human Resources, we have two items under there. Under E3C1, it's acceptance of resignation of director effective on future date, and we have a letter from Amanda Talbert setting her resignation date effective December 31st, 2020.
Okay, any questions? Letter's pretty self-explanatory, resignation, and so it's up to the court to accept or make a motion to how to handle this request of resignation.
Motion to accept the letter of resignation.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass, and we wish Amanda the best of luck. Okay, Dustin?
Under E3C2, we have discussion and or action regarding interim management director. And so, Judge, we would just need a motion to designate someone to fill that acting director spot.
Okay, what's the pleasure of the court?
Make a motion that we appoint Ana Picasso as the acting department head of the Human Resources Department.
Second.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Okay, Dustin?
All right, Judge, I believe that's all the all the action items. Reagan or Mercedes, is there anything else we need to go back to?
No, I don't see any other items.
Okay. If there's not anything else, well, we stand adjourned. Thank y'all.
Have a good week.